Right, of course, we start with the big news coming out of Chelsea this morning. Their record goal scorer, Frank Lampard, has accepted an offer to manage Chelsea until the end of the season. He's going to be taking training today, we believe, and our chief reporter, Kave Solokol, has a bit more on this. He obviously enters Chelsea, very different circumstances to when he took over last time. What is the thinking behind this, then?
Look, I think the thinking is that Chelsea have a short-term issue, that they need somebody to take charge of the team until the end of the season. And who better to turn to than Frank Lampard? He is available at the moment. Most Chelsea supporters would tell you that he's the club's greatest ever player. He has managed the team before, and on balance, he did a pretty good job the last time he was the manager. He was there for 18 months. He was working under extremely difficult circumstances. There was a transfer embargo. He had to bring through young players, which he did, giving a chance to players like Reece James, Mason Mount. And he was a little bit unlucky to lose his job just 5 or 6 weeks before he was sacked. Chelsea were actually top of the table in December. So he is raring to go. He's not the kind of person who could ever say no to Chelsea. So when the call came, of course, he said, yes, I want to do this job, but on the understanding that it's only going to be until the summer. Nothing has been discussed about him being the permanent next head coach of Chelsea. But I just think it makes sense for everybody. It makes sense for Frank Lampard, it makes sense for Chelsea, and it makes sense for the Chelsea supporters as well. You know, immediately there's a bit of a buzz back around the club. You've got the feel-good factor again, and Chelsea supporters will be looking forward to supporting the team and going to Stamford Bridge, and also watching them against Real Madrid next Wednesday.
Yeah. I mean, what about this? OK, so tell us about the search for the permanent manager, and what if they beat Real Madrid? What if they win the Champions League? What if they do well at the end of the season? They've got a permanent manager that might have agreed a deal to come in to take over next season, and then Frank's achieved more than they could ever wish for.
Look, I think, you know, there are a lot of ifs, but we've seen this happen before. Roberto Di Matteo stepped in to become the interim head coach, and he ended up winning the Champions League as well, and he got the full-time job. Even Thomas Tuchel, when he got the Chelsea job, you know, when Frank Lampard was sacked, within a couple of months, he'd won the European Cup as well. So there is history of this kind of thing happening at Chelsea. I think it would be a big decision for the owners to take if Frank Lampard, for instance, won all his Premier League games, won the Champions League as well. Could they really say goodbye to him and appoint somebody else? Look, I think the message coming out of Chelsea is loud and clear. I think Frank Lampard is going to stay until the summer, but the process to identify and appoint a new head coach carries on.
Okay.
Frank Lampard is aware of that. It gives Chelsea some breathing space and some time to make sure that they get the right man. Because last time round, it was very rushed. It was only a matter of hours between Tuchel being sacked and Graham Potter being appointed. This time round, they want to make their time, take their time, make sure they get the right person.
Yeah.